What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
It's time!
Welcome back to another Tuesday night episode of Tech Q&A with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph. If you do not know by now, we are engineered to win. That is our goal here on this channel. We work, we study, we have fun while doing all of that, but the number one goal is for growth, for, being focused, theme of the year, focus, dedication, doing what we have to do so we can get further along, all right? So, that being said, thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Let me see what's going on here. Give me 1 second, getting some type of notification here. Mhm. All right, we're good. We're good. We are good. Checking the connections. You know how the internet likes to mess with us sometimes, but we're good. So let's do it. All right. Okay. So let's get into our agenda to start the show, and we will move on from there. All right. So, as mentioned, Tech Q&A show. What I like to do at the beginning of every show, right, is say thank you to all of the newest subscribers. First and foremost,
I appreciate you.
we are growing very rapidly here. I'm just trying to provide you guys all the information that you need so that you can catch up, because a lot of people, they're transitioning into the tech field. They might take a boot camp, they might do some type of online course, but there are areas that are severely lacking in that. So I'm trying to help fill that gap. All right. So that is my goal here on this channel, is to help you to help yourself. I don't provide courses or anything like that. I use the courses that exist, and I try to help you strategize into a better way to get to where you want to be, right? I'm a strategist, a coach, all of that, and I just try to work with you so that you can be in the best position possible to win, because you have tons and tons of competition. I see it every single day. You need to be able to stand out, all right? So that is my goal, to help you stand out, to put you in the best position to win, all right? Because what I believe is,
I mean, all we do is
this thing. Dedication. I said focus. Focus, and Drew, focus. The theme of the year is focus. We have to focus because a lot of times we get so distracted, we get so distracted. So we are focusing. All right. This thing is weird. All right, had to clean some stuff up. Hopefully, this gives me a little bit better quality, but all right, let's go. So, the next thing I want to say is shout out to all of my tech barbarians. Like I was saying, help strategize, coach, because I want you guys in the best position to win. My tech barbarians, my tech prodigy members who are getting one-on-one coaching. We're always talking, always strategizing to say, okay, what can we do? Where is the market going? How can I properly adjust? Because like I said, you have a lot of competition out there. And my goal is to put you ahead of the game so that you can land that position that you want. You can just be. It's so hard for a lot of people, right? Because I see it every single day. Oh, I'm applying. I'm applying. I mass apply. I'm trying to network. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And nothing ever gives, right? And the video that I released last week about why is it so hard to get into tech? You might just not be ready yet. I'm trying to get those who work closely with me ready so that they can go out there and crush it. Because if I work with you, I believe that you're a representation of me, right? And I care about how I look, about my name. So that's why I invest so much of my time into you to put you in the best position, all right? So that is my thought. That is what goes on in my mind, my methodology, right? So that being said, let's go on to the next topic, all right? So if you are new to the channel, right, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because there's going to be tons and tons of information that is going to help you level up to your the next step, all right? And hit the notification bell while you're at it so you can know every time we go live, every time we drop new content. We drop tons and tons of content that you need because you might be a little lost, you might be unsure, and this content is what's going to help you get over the line. And you can leave me a comment, and I'm going to respond to you with the information that you need, right? So also like the video, share the video, all of that good stuff, and you can you're going to get a lot more out of it by doing that than if you don't, all right? And as well, check out the Patreon because you most likely need one-on-one coaching because what you've been doing hasn't really been working, right? So you need some expert guidance, some expertise, right? That can help you strategize and get access to exclusive content about like how I update my resume, how I manage my LinkedIn, all of that, right? How I network with people so that you can be in that best position so that you can go out there and land whatever it is that you're looking for, right? There's going to be something in there that'll help you. And if there's not, you just ask and you shall receive, all right? So check out the Patreon, www.techcoachralph.dev. One more time, www.techcoachralph.dev, and you will see everything that we have going on in there, all right? So next thing we are getting to is, what is our live show schedule? So on Sunday afternoons, we have software explorations. We are working through Terraform. We're doing really, really well on Terraform. We are almost, I wouldn't say we're at the end of it, but we're making a lot of progress. This past Sunday, we worked on the certificate manager, and we're gonna we just have some troubleshooting. Like we got it to work. We have some troubleshooting that we need to do, so we'll probably finish that this coming Sunday, and then we'll start migrating to a different provider, which will be a lot more cost efficient. All right, And then Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A session. That's what we're doing now, tech Q&A. You have questions. I will try my best to answer it, as well as you can, questions that I find, questions that you have in the chat. If you want to call in, the link should be rotating in the chat. So feel free to call in. And then Thursday nights, we have more software explorations. We are continuing through our exploration of comparing Playwright, Selenium, and Cypress. And we're working through the Free Mind Recovery site. It's the application built by Jared from Calculus Coder. So yeah, and it's how we do collaborations, and how, I am a QA engineer. He is a software developer, and he's not too familiar with test. So I'm like, okay, let me use your site to present how QA works, and then you can also get some tests for your site as well, right? And it also gives some exposure and idea, like how to best put your site in like your application in a position to be tested as well, because a lot of times sites are not easily testable, which leads them to having a lot of issues, right? And as QA engineers, we try to prevent as many issues as possible. Okay. And then we have our morning show Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 7:15 a.m. You should be up way earlier than that, right? But 7:15 a.m. Coffee and Kata, where we review some news stories, we have a cup of coffee, and we do some coding challenges, which I am thinking about something around there, right? Detail, I have to think about it some more, but details coming soon. All right. So one more time, Sunday afternoons, software explorations. Tuesday nights, Q&A session. Thursday nights, more software explorations. And then we have the morning shows on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:15 a.m. Coffee and Kata. All right. So that is our live show schedule. And now we move on to our pre-recorded content. So Mondays, we have Candid Conversations. And this past Monday, I just released one. Yesterday, that is. I released one that says, but I don't think about you, right? I don't think of you, right? It was very good. And it's really it's really meant to help you focus, right? And stop being distracted by everything that goes on around. So definitely check that one out. That is one of my favorite ones that I did this year. So definitely check that out, all right? And then we have Wednesday software explorations. We are going to be talking about tomorrow in the automation tools that we're reviewing, Selenium, Cypress, Playwright, taking screenshots and recording video of our playback to see, like, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, how much is a video worth, right? So we're going to break it down to see the capabilities of the different tools, right? And then Fridays, we have the Bug Bite, where we review different software industry bugs. And this coming Friday, I believe we're talking about the Waymo expansion in the San Francisco area, right? And then throughout the week, we have clips from the Q&A show, as well as some shorts. I am putting some shorts out there. We should have done it today, but I'm still working on the shorts. It's a struggle for me to put the shorts out, but we'll get there. All right. So one more time: Mondays, Candid Conversations; Wednesdays, Software Explorations, Concept and Overviews; and Fridays, the Bug Bite. And we have shorts and clips from the Q&A show throughout the week. All right. So definitely check that out. All right. Now let's move on to our next topic before we get into our questions. So check out Chaos Camp so you can get some real practical QA experience, coding experience, development experience, to see how we handle that. In the morning, we've been going through the OpenAI test automation challenge, so testing out that API to see what type of responses we get. I'm thinking about implementing some type of NPL library on it so we can have a better way of validating. All right. So we shall see with that. So, but definitely check out the Chaos Camp GitHub. The link should be in the chat as well as in the description, so you can level up from there. Very, very good challenges. I've done probably about maybe 3 or 4 of them by now, and every single time I'm learning something new, exploring different libraries, strategize. Like sometimes, like I'll be doing them, and I'm like, this way isn't gonna work. So I just scrap it and I start over. But every single time I push forward and I learn more. Right? It's all about learning. It's about stimulating your mind. All right. So that is so those are our announcements to get started. All right. And one more time, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time you can get the information that you absolutely need in your life. All right. Like the video, share it with somebody because they need it too. All right. So there's a need. I'm trying to fill that need. So go ahead and subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment. I will promise to get back to you. And of course, you need one-on-one coaching as well. So, as well as you need access to the exclusive content because I don't put it out there for everyone. You know, you get private live streams where I might be updating my resume, I might be answering your questions, whatever. Like pretty much, if you ask for it, I'm gonna make it happen. All right. So that is what you get access to in the Patreon, exclusive access to me, as well as you can get one-on-one coaching and join the Tech Barbarians or Tech Prodigy tier. And, you know, we can all win together. All right. All right. So let's get ready to move on. All right. Before we do that, let me check the chat real quick. Okay. So we had my boy Drew. He said, did you say the theme of the year is dedication? I mean, it is a good theme. Dedication is a great theme, but I want us to be focused because a lot of times, like we just lose sight of everything, right? And it's like little things here and there, they distract us, and then we try to reach our goal and we can never get there because it's like we're walking down the path, right? And then like, oh, we see this and we veer off, and then we try to come back, and then now we don't know where we were, and it's like constantly ending up at the same exact spot that we were before. We might get like a foot or two forward, but imagine if we were focused, how much further we could be, right? And that is like being relentless towards your goals, right? Saying, okay, there is nothing that's going to stop me from achieving whatever it is that I want to achieve. Whether it's like, oh, like this is what's going on. Well, like I just have to maybe go to sleep later or wake up earlier or both, right? But focus on getting to where you want to be, and then you can make decisions from there, right? So that's why I said the theme of the year is focus. Like we'll always come back to focus, checking in on our focus, see what it is that we are, like, are we still on course, right? Just the other day I had a coaching call, and the person I was coaching said that, oh, like I'm not feeling good, I have a headache and stuff like that. Can we reschedule? I said we could do that, but sometimes we have to push through because we let these things come and like make like we don't feel good, and it just delays us, and then we look back and it's like, oh wow, a whole month has passed by and we didn't really get much done. So we have to push forward and we have to say, all right, I might not feel good, but let me just go a little bit more and get this thing done. And then if I still don't feel good, maybe I can take a break at that point. But we just have to push forward. All right. So thank you for that. And then we have my friend D in the chat. Says, what's good, folks? What's good with you as well, D? And Andrew said, for real, that's my theme of the year as well. Dedication equals hard work plus patience. That is true. And he said, my bad. And I got my boy Sean in the chat. What's going on, Sean? Sean is absolutely amazing, I must say. We had a great, like, he asked a great question. I think it was either last Tuesday or last Thursday, but it was, I mean, it wasn't really a question. I asked him a question, and based on his response, I was like, okay, we need to have a heart to heart. So now let's see what Sean says. He says, I'm wondering, so I need to work for a while at least to pay bills, looking into some general office work and after hours leveling up my QA. Any thought or advice on this? Well, you know what, Sean? We can kick off the show with your question. All right. So Sean is gonna be our like he's gonna be the first question asker every show, right? So let's get to it. Let's get our timer up on the clock, on the screen, and let's get to the first question of the night.
Another one.
So Sean says, hey coach, I'm wondering, so I need to work for a while at least to pay bills, looking into some general office work and after hours leveling up my QA. Any thoughts or advice on this? So, what I'm gonna say is you have to do what you have to do to survive, right? If you need to do office work while you level up your skills, then that's what you have to do, right? But what I see though, and I don't even know, I can't even count how many times I see this, right? When people need to put their goals or their mission on the back burner because life gets in the way, a lot of times they let life stay in the way and then they never get back to the things that they were originally intending to do, right? So by all means, if you like you you should you need to pay your bills, right? Like there's you're an adult, you need to pay your bills, so by all means go out there and find a way to pay your bills, right? But you should also, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just so tired, I'm burned out, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow turns into next year, and then next year turns into never, right? So with that being said, you need to create a schedule, use your calendar, ferociously allocate your time, saying, okay, I'm at work from this time to that time, and okay, and then what time am I gonna eat? What time I'm gonna sleep? What time am I gonna shower? What time I'm gonna wake up? What time am I going to be studying? What time I'm going to be doing this? What time am I going to be looking for some type of internship opportunity or working for a startup where it can be where I can be able to dedicate some QA testing time to their organization so that you can stay on the path, right? When someone just asks you oh, good guy's gonna get on me for this. When somebody just asks you oh, let's do this, right? You need to be able to check your calendar. If your calendar is not full, then you're doing something wrong, right? You need to be able to allocate your time to say, I don't have time for it, right? Because if you are not where you want to be yet, then that means you have work to do. If you have work to do, then you don't really have space for having fun, right? You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta put yourself first, right? So I hope that helps, because like I said, a lot of people, they get into that same predicament. I want to do this. I want to go into software engineering. I want to go to QA. I want to be cybersecurity, but I also have to, maybe have a family, maybe have kids, whatever the case may be, right? How do you manage your time? And I have videos about that, managing your time and stuff like that. It's super, super important. Managing your time wisely. A lot of people, because they don't use their calendar, because they don't have people schedule appointments with them, right? They miss out, right? And they just start to push things out, and that is not in your best interest. You know what I mean? So that's my thought about it, right? You have to take care of yourself, but you also you can't put your goals on the back burner because life gets in the way. You know what I mean? Life is always going to get in the way, but it's up to you how you're going to prioritize it and put yourself first, right? Because before you can help other people, you need to be able to help yourself. And if you're not in the best position to win, then what's going to happen there, right? So definitely agree that if that's what you have to do, then I'm 100% behind you. But in being 100% behind you, like I said, use your calendar, have it full, allocate every portion of your day to be doing something, right? And have if you have to go somewhere with somebody, right? Have it at a I spoke about this the other day. I think it was on Thursday, time box, right? If someone wants a bit of your time, okay, how much time do you need? I can give you 30 minutes. I can give you an hour. Oh, it's indefinite. Then the answer is no, right? Because your time needs to be used for you to get better, to level up, to 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 learn, because guess what? Nobody cares about what happens to you because they're just going to they're going to extract as many resources from you as possible, and no one's going to care about you getting better. So you need to care about yourself getting better. So that is my advice to you. Hopefully that helps. And Sean says, thank you, coach, very insightful. I agree with the calendar or scheduling time. Yep. Somebody who Operation Tech Takeover. He's normally he in the chat a lot, always supporting, right? But he's always saying, "Oh, I got to go to a study session. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do that." And it's very well organized, like how he allocates his time, and he he'll always support, but he's like, I need because I have somewhere that I want to be, right? And I'm focused on it, and I'm going to study. I'm going to do what I have to do, because once I get to where I want to be, then I can start enjoying it a little bit more, right? But until I'm where I want to be, then there's no horsing around, there's no playing around. We're gonna put in that work, right? And that's the way I see it. And I'll tell you this: everyone that's successful, right, truly successful, they prioritize the things that they have to do, and they don't let anything. And I repeat one more time: anything get in the way of that success. All right. So that is my thought. We can talk about it some more, but hopefully that gives you some insight into like how I see it, my mentality, and it helps you get to wherever it is that you would like to be. All right. So great question as always, Sean. I really appreciate that question. I really appreciate you. All right. Let's get into our next question of the night. All right.
Another one.
So I came across this today, right? Pretty cool stuff. It says it's a hashtag open bug initiative, right? It says, hey QA, whenever I see a bug in a product I use or an anomaly I certainly complain about at work, I desperately want to report it somewhere or at least share with someone, probably occupational damage, typos, annoying misalignments, actual functional misbehavior, illogical and confusing things, etc. Properly reporting most of them to companies is a lot more hustle than I want to do for free. That's a fact. But I still want to get it out. So I'm calling for everyone to join Open Bug Initiative. I made it up, but hear me out. And I'm reading what the person sent. I did not make this up, all right? Let's share the screenshots of bugs when we run into them on social media and tag them with open bug. So hashtag open bug and then hashtag product name. Hashtag company name that developed the product if known or makes sense. A little extra info about what's wrong if not obvious and or why it's annoying to you. It will let us scratch that itch. Let companies most monitor their names on social media, take notice, and hopefully improve their product. I'm doing a little bit of Mastodon, but you can do it on any social. Oh, so they're doing it on some website called Mastodon. I never heard of that one before. But you can do it on any social network in any language in any way you like. Just make it obvious and add the hashtag open bug tag. Just one rule: don't post any security issues, stupid or fun. So let's start our clock on that one. So I think it is a pretty, it's a cool idea, right? Because when I see typos on certain things that there shouldn't be typos, it does kind of drive me crazy, right? Like if I'm doing a bug bite article and I see typos in there, I'm like, what's going on here, right? What's going on? I expect better, right? I expect better. But here's the thing. I personally don't have the time to be reporting bugs for random companies. But I do think it is good practice for those who are trying to transition into the field and stuff like that, who are learning QA. It is a pretty good initiative, and that way, like you can also collaborate with other QAs as well, to see like, and then you can get feedback. Like and here's the thing that always happens with me, right? As I as I read these things, I start getting a whole bunch of thoughts, right? I remember I was talking to, like, you've seen him in the chat before, to my boy Tony, and we're just talking about some business idea that he has in mind, and being that he's a software engineer, I'm a QA engineer, and we're just talking, and we pretty much mapped out this entire application that would revolutionize the business that he was going in that he's thinking about going into, right? And it's like, so when you have that engineering mindset, that innovative mindset, you can get so much done. So just thinking about this one right quick, right? Thinking about this one, it's like, so here's my thought, right? And I'm probably not gonna do it. So if you want to do it, by all means go ahead. But you can create a GitHub account, right? Where you can have it where you can have all these bugs are being posted, right? And with these bugs being posted as issues, like as issues in GitHub, you can like write a full defect report, and everyone can be putting issues there, and then you can link from the social media post about the with the hashtag open bug to the GitHub that has the issues created, right? So you can end up having a huge GitHub of issues based on sites like defects found on different websites, whatever it might be, and then there can be comments on it, and it's like it would be like that central hub of the quote unquote open bug, right? I think that's a pretty cool idea. It would be fun, and it's a good way to collaborate. You can get more familiar with GitHub as well. See how like creating issues in there. I don't know. There's so many things you can do around it. I personally like don't have the time or much of the care to be able to do all that, but that would be a great initiative if somebody wanted to run with that. I like the idea of the open bug. The only thing is, like, depending on the social media that you're using, like let's say you're using X, and I'm not gonna say formerly known as, because we should know by now, right? It's been a while. But if you're using X, you only have so much space to report all that information. You can do it on Facebook, definitely. You can do it on Reddit, but if you do it on, I like the idea of doing it on GitHub, because you have that central location, and that's pretty much what GitHub is meant for, like with the issues and stuff like that, where you can just like list all the different issues from all the different sites, and you can tag them and all that cool stuff. So I think that's a great idea. I think it's a cool idea. If anyone wants to run with it, Sean, maybe that's a cool idea. Create a GitHub to house that, and use the open bug hashtag, and can take off. Who knows? But I think that's a cool thing, right? So that is my thought on that matter. I'm going to wrap that question up, but I thought that was pretty cool. If anyone wants to participate, let me know. Drop a hashtag open bug in the chat if you are interested in, if you think that's a cool idea, if you're interested in participating in that, if you're interested in creating the GitHub, let me know, right? Because if you create the GitHub, I'll drop a defect in there. I don't mind contributing, right? So, but if it's not one of you guys who do it, then I'm not really going to do it. But for you, I will. All right. So let's wrap that question up with a nice bow on top. All right, let's move on to our next question.
Another one.
So this one says, new job, large company, The PM wants to force, I repeat, they want to force BDD. What should I use? Cucumber? Playwright with Cucumber? Any other options? Like the title says, I started a new job and the PM really thinks that behavior-driven development is the shiznick. I know nothing about it, but have seen various frameworks for it. Does anyone have any recommendations on which to use? I'm kind of partial to Playwright anything because that was what my previous job used. Is Playwright with Cucumber BDD worth checking out, or is Cucumber the main player and shouldn't even look elsewhere? That is an absolutely stunning question, right? So, what I would say is that you should always, and I repeat, you should always be looking to investigate new libraries, new repos. I mean, on our Thursday night streams, we're doing 3-in-1, right? We're doing Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright all on the same website so we can level up and get better skills, right? But then in the morning shows, we're doing Python with BDD via Behave, right, on the OpenAI challenge. So there are so many different options and things that we can use, and I say, like, never limit your learning. You can, it's as easy as going to getting an online course, and then you need to get that online coaching, because a lot of times we get these online courses and we don't know what to do with them. That's why you need that's why you need one-on-one coaching, right? Or you can get some additional information in the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon, right? Because you have this information, but you don't know how to use it, right? And that's where I feel that need that you have, right? But that being said, I think, like, I've for a long time I thought that BDD was pretty cool, pretty awesome, but it's always been hard for developers to adopt it. Some of them, like a lot of developers, they're stuck in their ways, but it is what it is. However, being able to use it in at least a QA environment, seeing like how we write our feature files in a logical manner, right? Like, it's so easy to read, and then we implement, because the implementation is just like regular code, whether you're using Python, Playwright, JavaScript, Java, C#, whatever the case, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the feature file is easily to read and understand. Anyone can read it. Okay, this makes perfect sense. And then you are implementing the, oh my goodness. And then you are implementing the code, the steps, right? In order to be able to, like, navigate through the test plan or execute the test, right? So I like it a lot, right? I think it's very helpful. It's very easy to understand. I know it hasn't been adopted as a lot of people would have anticipated that it would have been adopted. But here's the thing, right? There's so many insert driven development, right? So there's data driven development, there's test driven development, which is I'm a fan of. There's test driven development. There is behavior driven development. There's so many different driven developments that it can be quite overwhelming, right? And then not only that, you have to get buy-in from everyone who's working on the project. So on your own, you might be able to do test driven development, or you might be able to do data driven development, or you might be able to do behavior driven development. But if you're working on a team of people and they're just not that into it, you have an uphill battle to convince them that this is something that we should do, right? I remember back in the days, I'm like, hey, we should try out test driven development. But guess what? Just because I'm saying we should try it out, I'm in QA. I don't really do the development, right? So the developers might not want to undertake that task, and because they might not know how to do it, or they might feel that it slows them down, or that it's too hard. Who knows what the case may be, right? But I would always throw it out there because they have to write the unit test anyway. So, but it's just something that wasn't really adopted, and I'm like, there's only so much I can say because I'm not the one who's actually writing the development code. I'm doing the automation code. That's one thing, but the actual development code, that is a totally different thing, which I don't have that much say so over it. I don't have any say so over it. Like, if it doesn't work, then I'm like, hey, something's not working. We need to go back and fix it and stuff like that. But the way that they approach it, I can only give some level of recommendation, but even with that, not too much. All right. So that is that's the thought behind it, right? And that's why, like, if you have the opportunity to learn BDD and the PM is pushing it, it's probably because it's easy for the PM to understand and for the stakeholders to understand. Because here's the thing, right? When BDD was first coming out, right? The idea of BDD was that it was a document that was easy to understand between the business and the developers, right? A lot of time we have these complicated requirements and stuff like that where the business and the developers, they are not on the same page. So the business, they want a banana, and the developers create a cat, right? Because we're not on the same page. So the intention of BDD was to put us on the same page. So we write easily to understand requirements, and then we take those requirements, right, the feature file, and we build the application based on those requirements. So with Cucumber, there was a way that you could just generate the test files, right? Like your steps and stuff like that. So based on the feature file, it would go ahead and create the steps and stuff, and then you just like start plugging in. And it was actually an approach to doing TDD, right? So you'd create your feature file, and then based on the feature file, you would generate the steps file, and then as you would say, okay, this is the expected results of this step, right? Now we have to build the code that's going to satisfy that step passing, and then you just go from there. That was the cadence that it was supposed to follow. From what I've seen, that hasn't really picked up, but I think it is that is a great opportunity to try something new, to learn. I wouldn't fight it. And guess what? If it doesn't work, then you can give feedback on why it's not the best tool to use. But if you're new and you're not familiar with it, go into it with open heart and open eyes and open mind, right? See if that's something that can help you have a better understanding and relationship with the product manager or project manager, whichever one that PM stands for in this case, and with the stakeholders, because your number one goal is customer satisfaction. And if this is going to help towards customer satisfaction, then I think you should invest the time into it to see if it's actually worthwhile. And if it's not, you give that feedback saying, these are the issues that we had with it, and then you go from there, right? But you're a team and work together as a team to find a common goal, a common solution. The product owner or the product manager or the project manager, they have the best interest of the customer in mind, and you should as well, all right? So just putting that out there. Hopefully you found that helpful and useful, but we're going to wrap this question up. All right. So we are chugging along through the show. If you are enjoying what you're watching, if you find it entertaining, if you find it helpful, if you find it informational, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can get some more information that you absolutely need in your life. My goal is to provide you with what you need from a tech perspective, right? Whether it's from software engineering stuff, whether it's from QA, whether it's from cybersecurity. When I have my boy Socks with me, we're also going to be launching Socks U very, very soon. So all my beta testers who sent in an email saying they wanted to beta test Socks University, you should be getting that email really, really soon so you can start your 30 days to let us know what's not working, what's working, what you like about it, what you don't like. So the link is still, and the details for that is still in the chat. So if you are interested in becoming a beta tester on Socks U, we are still taking a few more, maybe about 5 more spaces that we have. So if you're interested, go ahead and email Socks, and he will get you provisioned very, very soon, because we are just at the brink of sending out all the emails to the beta testers so that they can start using it. And trust me, it's you're gonna learn a lot, right? You get access to a VPN, so definitely check that out. All right. So, and as well, check out the Patreon, sign up for one-on-one coaching, because so many people who they come to me like, oh, I don't know what to do. And then as soon as they get that they start their one-on-one coaching, they have a very clear trajectory. We set goals, we set plans. I make sure that you use your calendar. I give you the necessary, like the same tools that we use in the workplace. I have you set up on those so you can get familiar with them. That on day one that you start working, you're not a deer with a deer in headlights, right? You're like, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident and I'm serious, and let's go, right? Let's go. Like Lil Jon says, let's go. All right. So that is that. All right. Let's get to our very next question of the night.
Another one.
So this one says essential questions to ask when starting a new QA role, right? I'm about to join a new company. I'm about to join a new QA team at a company. What are the key questions I should ask when joining a new company in a QA role to better understand the team and contribute effectively? Appreciate any advice and experience you can share. I'm expected to do mostly manual testing, but automation will be progressively adopted as well as it should be. I'm also expected to take the lead on test plan development, test case development, test execution, documentation, and bug reporting. So this is 100% Patreon level questions and answers right here, but I will share this one with you, right? I will share this one as best as I can with you, all right? So let's start from the beginning, right? What are the key questions I should ask when joining a new company? So this question I normally ask at like the interview level, right? I'm going to give you this one question. I normally ask during an interview. What are some of the challenges that you're facing that you need me to take care of for you? Like, right? Like, what are the challenges you're looking for me to solve, right? Because without understanding what the issues are, how do you know, number one, know if you are going to be a good fit for it. Number two, so that you can see, okay, this is like you can start planning out your mission, right? Say, okay, this is a challenge that they have, and how can I best address that challenge, right? So it puts you in the know of what's going on, and it just puts you in a much better position, right? So that is like what I'll say. Like that's one of the main questions you could definitely ask is, what is the challenges that you need me to solve, right? And then from there, once you get that, then you can start like planning and strategizing and doing a lot more. Okay. Other questions that you can ask, right, is schedule time with the people that you're going to be working closely with so that they can give you a better understanding, a better overview of the application that you're going to be working on. They're the experts in their domain, right? So you need to schedule time with them to get so they can better explain to you their processes, the application, what does a working software look like, what does a non-working software look like, right? Because those two, they sound opposite, but they are not the same. Like, I mean, that's what opposite, right? But what does success look like, and what does being non-successful look like? It's not just like, oh, the opposite of each other. It's for this to be working, these are the conditions that need to be met, right? For this to be like not working, this is what needs to be happening for it to be like a critical thing, right? So you need to understand like all these little different intricacies. Take notes, see what ask like, okay, where is the company going? What is the projection? Where are we looking to be? Because you might be coming in and you know exactly where we are now, or you maybe don't even know that, right? But all you can see is what's in front of you. But you need to find out, which is that's a good question that you get from leadership, maybe in like all hands and stuff like that. But where do we see ourselves? Like so that way you can shape your goals for the company around what the company's working on. It's not like, oh, the company wants to be here, but I have a goal of doing this just because to do it. No, you need to properly shape your goals around the interests of the company. Like, and that's your work goals, right? Your company goals. You can still have your personal goals where you're working on like whatever it is that you're working on, but your work goals should be shaped around the company. All right. So that is so that's that part, right? Let's see, what else did you have? So you're going to be doing mostly manual testing, but automation will be progressively adopted, right? So I would say find out, right? Do they currently have automated tests, right? And if they do, although you're not going to be doing it right now, you should learn, like you should be able to get access to the repo, should be able to execute the test, even if you're not contributing to the code base right now, should be able to execute the test because that's going to save you time, right? But along with that, being able to execute it, it shows initiative, that you're interested in it, that that you want to participate, all of that, right? So I would say that is another thing that you ask for is like, hey, how can I get access to the automated code? How do I run it? See if there's documentation. Is there like what are the ways I can contribute? Like, is there documentation that needs to be done? What are like how can I learn better? And if it's not documented, as I'm learning, maybe I can also document it, right? So many little things that you can do coming into a company as a new QA, right? And then expected to take the lead on test plan development, test case development, execution. Look for okay, has this been done before in the past? And if so, where can I find it so I can look at it? I can see, okay, how does it work? And you interview, because guess what? As QA, you have so many stakeholders. The developers are your stakeholders. The product managers are your stakeholders. The scrum masters are your stakeholders. The actual stakeholders are your stakeholders. The customers are your stakeholders. And you need to be able to make an inventory about, okay, what puts all of them in the best position. So you're going to have to interview them. You're going to have to talk to them. You're going to have to provide context and insight. And so there's so many different things that you can do, right? So go back and watch this. Make a list, index it, and see like, okay, how can I best approach this? And if you need me to work on you with this, definitely sign up for one-on-one coaching, and we can develop a plan together on how you can attack your first 90 days on the job and crush it and make you stand out. And they'll be like, wow, this was an amazing hire, right? Because a lot of times they hire like they don't really know what's going to work out, what's going to happen, but you want them to be able to say, wow, we definitely made the right choice. All right. So just going to leave you with that one. All right. Let's move on to our next one. And this one's going to be a good one, right? Because I know a lot of people feel like this. All right. Let's go.
Another one.
Are some people just not cut out for 9-to-5 work? That is a good question. I've had a 9-to-5 job since the end of last August. I enjoyed it at first, and it was a new environment, new people. I'd never done it before, so my brain and body were not used to the cycle. It was too preoccupied with experiencing all the new things. Almost 6 months later, I feel as if it's literally killing me. I'm always so tired and miserable. I come home, maybe play video games and listen to music for a few hours and then go to sleep or doom scroll. It's been that way for 5 months and will continue to be this way for at least 4 more years because of a contract. I've tried to change things. I've started working out or reading when I get home, but it hasn't changed the way I feel. I feel like I'm stuck in an endless cycle that I can't escape from. I feel so lost. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I thought it was going to be easy to just sit in an office all day long and type on a computer. It's not physically or mentally difficult. Why is it just so damn hard? One of my coworkers is the complete opposite of me. He's motivated, wants to be rich, have tons of cars, live in a big house, etc. He does lots of research in certain fields that he'd like to change to in his free time at work. I've tried doing the same, but I just don't have the energy. But when I do have the energy, I just stop halfway through and think to myself, what's the point of doing all this work and creating all this stress for myself to help create someone else's dream. It makes me feel like a cock. Oh, interesting. Wasn't expecting that. I'm starting to think this job, or any job in general, just isn't a fit for me. I think my brain is just broken and isn't wired to cope with work. Does anyone else feel this way? What do I do? Whew, that is a serious question right there. Throw up our 5 minutes on the clock, right? So, I'm gonna say this, right? I would say a good 95.7, maybe closer to 98.6% of the population feels exactly like you do. I don't know how many people I come across who just don't want to work, right? Here's the thing. You said the question asked, is a 9 to 5, like, I'm going to go right back to the beginning of the question, right? Because it said, are some people just not cut out to work 9 to 5? So the question is, if you do not work 9 to 5, what do you do? Are you an entrepreneur? Well, no, you're not, because guess what? As an entrepreneur, you work 10 times as much as you work on a 9 to 5, right? So what do you do, right? You don't want to work 9 to 5. You don't want to work 24 hours a day, because as an entrepreneur, right, as a business owner, you are on call 24/7. They make it seem like, oh, I'm just going to take a vacation here. I'm just going to take a vacation there. No, the work doesn't stop. Unless you've made it unless you've made it where you have like people to run your business and stuff like that. But even with that, how can you I don't have that trust factor in me to like put my livelihood, put my business in the hands of another person while I'm out there partying, right? So are 9 to 5s not for everyone? Maybe. I can say that, hey, some people they're not cut off to work 9 to 5s, but what do they do? Are they business minded? Are they entrepreneurs? Because you said it in here. You said it yourself in here, right? And you just want to come home and play video games and listen to music, right? But you don't do that. You just go to sleep or you doom scroll, right? But then you talk about your business, like your coworker who is after it, who is motivated, who wants to learn stuff, right? And you don't have that energy to do that. So what do you expect to do, right? Do you expect for the productive people of society to come take care of you? Absolutely not. I don't want to take care of you. You're a grown person. But then here's the other question. What is your 9 to 5 in? What do you do on a daily basis? Because everything that I've ever done, I found a way to make it fun, right? And the things that I find a way to make fun, I make sure that they're like the beneficial, lucrative, stuff like that, things that I can grow, things that push me to learn more, things that I can use as the main things that I'm learning. How can I leverage that so I can take that into my own company and stuff like that, right? So yeah, not everyone, like I would say 95.8, maybe 99.2% of the world, at least of the United States, they're not cut off for 9 to 5s, but because they are adults and they have no choice, they will miserably, and I repeat, they will miserably get up and go to the job site and do what they have to do, right? But those are the same people who will always complain about where they're at, not being taken care of by Uncle Sam and everything like that, right? I'm saying that you need to work, right? Somehow, like you need to do some type of work, because without work, there is no growth. Some people don't want growth. I don't know, right? But the way that I see it, we got to put in that work. And that's why I am constantly working, whether I'm on the clock at work, whether I am on the clock here on YouTube, coaching, whether I'm on the mats on the clock, doing jujitsu, whatever it is, right? I'm always working. I'm always focused. I'm always dedicated, right? See, look at that. Drew got me saying dedicated. But you got to work, right? Like, what does your future hold? What does your future hold? Whether you're working for yourself or whether you're working for a 9 to 5, whatever the case may be, right? You got to work, and that leads to growth, right? So let's see. I think Sean says, so Sean wants to contribute, right? He says, I would also suggest, are you making any goals to save or invest? That is a great question, Sean. And to be honest with you, Sean, the way that it sounds like, it doesn't sound like they are making any goals to save or invest. They just want to. I mean, if they don't want to work, what are they going to save? What are they going to invest? A lot of people, they are very, very short sighted, and all they see is tomorrow. All they see is tomorrow. And Sean says, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you don't like it, that's okay, but have a plan. Learn to invest what you earn. Like, for example, lots of stocks pay out dividends. That's true. That's totally true. But to get like really substantial dividends, you need to invest a lot, right? And here's the thing: if they don't want to work, do you think they want to work on learning like how dividends work, the right stocks to invest in, and everything like that? I don't know. But see, Sean is, and that's why Sean is so awesome, because he's like really saying, there's so many different things you can do, but guess what, Sean? They all involve some form of work, right? When like let's say you work for yourself as a day trader or something like that, right? You still have to like be. I remember there was this guy that I used to train with, right? And he was a day trader, but he built algorithms and stuff like that to like help him with investments and stuff. But he was up all the time because he would be looking at the markets in like Japan, and then be up for when the markets are open here, and then work throughout the day, and like always being ready for whichever market was open. So he worked for himself, but he worked. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing I'm not seeing from this post is, what do you plan to do? It just sounds like you don't want to do anything, right? And that is where I have a problem. And I think most people, that's the mentality that they have, is like, things should be given to me. I don't want to go out there and earn it. All right. So great contribution as always, Sean. All right, let's wrap this one up. And Sean says, my philosophy is work hard now so my older self can thank me later. That's a fact. And that's how you look towards the future, right? It's not just about the here and now. So many people that make plans for the here and now, they don't even look 30 days down the road, right? They don't look 30 days on the road. I like to coach people to look 20 years down the road, and then how do we achieve that 20-year goal, So that's my mentality. I like your philosophy, Sean. Awesome. All right. So let's get to our next one.
Another one.
Do you think most companies treat employees and job candidates fairly? What's fair? The only thing I know about fair is they have it once or twice a year where you can go on rides and stuff like that. But let's get to the question. For example, do you think most companies will hire the person who seems most qualified for a job and not someone else for a bad reason? Do you think most companies try to pay their employees at least in the average market rate? Or do you think the things above are completely false and most companies are very corrupt? I'm asking because then I know what type of mindset I should have towards companies. So that is a great question, right? Let's start our clock. I do not think that companies are corrupt or that they treat employees fairly or candidates fairly or anything like that, right? I think that companies are ran by human beings, and at the end of the day, a company is a business, right? The fairest thing that a company can do is pay you when they say that they're going to pay you, right? Because if the checks stop coming, Houston, we have a problem, right? But they're paying you to do a job, right? So do the job well and pay me well, right? So let's break this down, right? Let's break this down. So do you think most companies will hire the person who seems most qualified for the job? I would say yes, along with other factors. I mean, and guess what? Being qualified for the job has many different layers to it, right? Because it's not like, okay, it's not, oh, I've been doing QA for X amount of time. I know how to write good test cases. I know how to write good defect reports. There's more to it than that, right? How do you get along with the other team members, right? That's part of it. Are you a good fit? A lot of people are like, oh, like, why do you have to be a good fit and stuff like that? Because your personality is what's going to be interacting with these other people, right? So you need to make sure that you're personable, you're approachable, that you know your stuff, right? You're good, like, and that you can learn quick. You're a critical thinker, and this is not just for QA. This is for pretty much for any position, right? But that you have good social skills, that you're always looking to help out. You're looking to advance the mission forward, right? And for me, that's the best. Like that shows that you're the most qualified for a job, right? Do some companies practice maybe some type of favoritism, nepotism? Of course, right? But you probably wouldn't want to work for that company anyways. And I would say that is on the minority of companies, right? That is on the minority of companies that act that way. I would say that the majority of companies, they want the most qualified person for the job because they're about making money, right? And if you just put someone who is like someone who you just like, but they can't do the job well, then they're going to be losing money, right? And then eventually you're going to be getting laid off and stuff like that, right? So that's how I see that, right? So now the next question was, do you think most companies try to pay their employees at least the average market rate? I have absolutely no idea what the average market rate is because at the end of the day, they're going to make you an offer. And it's up to you whether you're going to accept that offer or not. You can counter offer, you can negotiate and stuff like that. But they're like, a company is going to go into like what's in their best interest first, right? It's negotiation. You know, if you don't like the offer that you're getting, then you can reject it. You can make a counter offer. I mean, that happens all the time, you know, but it's not their job to give you the average market rate because guess what? If you are as qualified as you believe that you are, right? The rate that they give you has to be competitive because if you are in demand, that means you can easily be taken away by another company. And and one of the most expensive things at companies is what is it called? Is it attrition? I think. Where's Natasha when I need her? But yeah, it's like when people are cycling in and cycling out, and they're getting poached by other companies. So if they do not pay a fair, like a good, not I don't even want to use the word fair, right? If they don't pay something competitive, then you can easily be taken away by someone else if you are good enough, right? And that's how like the people get paid like low wages and stuff like that because what they do is not very in demand. But if you are at the top of your game, and you're the best among the best, like my buddy over there, Diego, one of the best amongst the best, right? Then they're gonna compensate you for that, right? However you negotiate and stuff like that. So that like the question itself is on a false premise about average market rate. It should be are you competitive? And if you are competitive, then companies are going to compete for you. All right. So, and then it says, do you think the above are completely false? They're not completely false. Like I'm balanced in the way that I see it. Right. I don't think that most companies are corrupt at all. I think that they are a business. They're about their bottom line. They need to keep the shareholders happy, and they do what they have to do. Right. I don't think it's anything personal that it's like they're evil or they don't like you or something like that. It's not. It's just business. It's just business. And when things happen, I just see it, it's business and we all have to do what is in our best interest. All right. So I think with that, right, with that information, that will help you approach going forward with the companies, because you need to be able to think like, why do people and companies do the things that they do, and knowing that they have their best interest in mind, how do I put my best interest in mind, and how do we mesh that together so that we can meet in the middle and we can all be happy. All right. So that's what I'm thinking. And before I wrap this one up, I was curious, Diego, what part are you responding to not always? Because I wasn't sure where that like what I was saying at that point when you said not always. So let me know, and then we can talk about that as well. But I'll wrap up this question for now, and then we can always revisit it if Diego's able to let us know what he was referring to by not always. All right, let's wrap it up. All right, we are on our way. We are on our way. So I hope that you guys are enjoying the show. It's been a crazy busy day, busy week. I was in this training today about contract testing, so I'm learning a lot about that, about this tool called Pact. So I'm going to, in the next weeks, I'm going to do a deep dive into it to get a better understanding of its purpose, how it works, and share that with you as well, so that. And I know Don is pretty familiar with contract testing, so that'll be a great conversation to have with him as well. But yeah, so it's been a busy day, doing a lot of like crazy things happening at work, in this training for contract testing. So yeah, so just it's been a crazy day. So, but we are here. We are here. We are not we're not letting up, all right? So let's go ahead and get to the next question. But remember, you can get the one-on-one coaching that you need. You can get the exclusive information that you need in the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev. So do not hesitate to check that out and sign up today before we get to our next question. All right. So the next question is about. It's about
Money.
Yeah. I like money. Do you like money? Okay, let's go.
Another one.
This one says salary bump in annual review. I've got 2 years of experience as a software tester. My first job was mainly manual testing with a little bit of automation and some API testing. Got my ISTQB down. Worked in Agile and got some really good foundation into being a QA. After 18 months, I got made redundant / laid off. Started off 22.5K, pay raise to 25K, pay raise to 28K. Luckily, I managed to find a new role within 2 months at another company with a salary bump as well. They offered me 32.5K. I've been here for 8 months, and now they've given me the opportunity to learn automation testing using Playwright and put me through a course on JavaScript plus Playwright. I've now been able to pick up quite quickly and automate end-to-end tests for various web applications. I've also updated the test according to changes to the features. They said I will also have the opportunity to shadow a dev manager and do some performance testing using JMeter down the line. I said, let me get really good at automation first and take it step by step. Basically, pay rises / annual reviews are coming up in April. Given that I've now picked up the system quite well and product, and I'm now able to get my hands dirty with automation, obviously there's much more to learn down the road, but I'm curious as to what would be a good pay raise to ask for. I'm thinking minimum of 35,000 and ideally 37.5 thousand. Just to bear in mind, I am based in the UK, 90 minutes from London, just down south. So to all the Americans and Londoners, I'm talking about UK wages here, which can seem a little low. However, on 32K, I'm able to live quite well and save a bit in my area. Plus, I'm still relatively junior. Is 37K too much to ask, or should I ask for more or less. I'm the only one on my team for testers total that has taken the initiative to automate instead of making the devs do it. Well, that is awesome. I must say that's pretty good. The devs have helped guide me and been great in supporting me when I run into issues with my tests. The market in my area shows automation roles for 40 to 60K. I was interviewing last year after my redundancy for 50 to 60K for London-based roles, but they went with another candidate at the final stage, unfortunately, due to a lack of automation knowledge. Aw, that sucks. The only issue is I don't want to look like I job hop to a different company every year. I want to give my current employer at least 2 years. Well, that is an so here's the thing, right? I'm going to make it real simple. You can ask for anything that you want. What is the worst that can happen? I mean, the worst that can happen, they fire you, but they won't do that, right? Because they have invested so much in you. And the fact that you're the only person who is like really contributing from a QA perspective, like to the automation, relieving pressure off the devs, I think it's a great opportunity to ask. I mean, I would not ask, and find out like what's like talk to your. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It shouldn't be a surprise to your manager when this conversation comes up, right? You should already be having these conversations about like the work that you're doing, your expectations, their expectations, right? Have these conversations, and this is the purpose of having one-on-ones with your manager, right? Have these conversations. When you have these one-on-ones, you keep the flow going back and forth, right? And they can tell you, okay, this is like, how is the company doing? Like, do you know how the company is doing? Find out how your company is doing. Ask about like are they having all hands? What are the C-suites saying? Like, what is the CEO saying? What is the CFO saying? What is the CTO saying? Right? Get involved. Listen, understand. Have the conversation, because guess what? There's nothing wrong with you. Like there's nothing wrong with you negotiating, right? A pay raise when the time is right. But also keep in mind that because here's the thing, because they're investing in you, they want you to do better. They want you to contribute to the company, right? They're investing in you. So as well, they don't want to see you go, and they'll be willing to negotiate and stuff like that. The worst they can say is, we can't afford it, no, whatever, right? But you're not gonna get like terminated or anything like that because you ask for a raise. But you have to approach it the right way. You can't come out as a surprise, and you can't hold the company hostage. Like say, oh, if you don't pay me this, I'm just gonna go and stuff like that. You say you want to give it 2 years. I'll say give it 2 years. Okay, what's the worst that can happen? Giving it 2 years, leveling up, because number one, it's not easy to find another position, especially right now, right? And number two, you're learning a lot. You're definitely learning a lot. So I would have the conversation with the manager, right? Don't wait till the annual review comes. Have these conversations on a regular basis, not about like increasing in pay, but asking about like, okay, where do you see me? Where do I see myself, right? Where does the company see itself? And I would say this, don't even think about a raise, right? That's cool. Look for promotions. Look to level up in promotions, because that's where the real raises come, right? The real raises come from being promoted from like maybe a junior to a non-junior or a senior or something like that, or being a lead of the other developers. Show initiative, work hard, push forward, right? So that's how I would see it. A lot of times we focus on raise. Raises are generally 3%, right? Look on growth in the sense of how can I make the company better? How can I make testing better? How can I make the other QA testers better? How can I make the developers' lives better and easier as well? And then the money will just they'll just come pouring in, and they'll be saying,
Thank you for your patronage.
So that's how I see it. Just continue to learn, continue to grow. Don't make it like an adversarial topic. Talk to your manager early. Ask for how you can, like, what are some opportunities for you to move up in the company, and work on a plan from there, right? Don't just arbitrarily ask for money like at the time of the yearly review, because that is when because they budget for this stuff too, right? So have them start looking into it early as well. All right. So that is my thought on that one. Let's wrap that one up. All right. So Diego had said, I said not always companies hire people that fits the position in 100% technically. Yeah, you're totally right. Like they don't always do that. So, some companies, like, they have managers might try to hire their friends and stuff like that. But what I'm thinking is that it is I'm just saying, like, more times than not, they're going to hire someone who is what they believe is because it might end up they're not being a right fit for the position, but they believe that it's a right fit for the position that's going to further the interest of the company. And it's not just like their best friend that they're trying to hire to give a job because their best friend needs a job, right? So yeah, I totally agree with you with that. It's not 100% of the times, but I would say more times than not, they hire the person who they believe, they might not be, but they believe is the most qualified for the job, and it's going to further the interest of the company forward. All right. So great point, Diego. As always, one of my greatest friends, right? And Good Guy says, good question. It is certainly a good question, and you get a
Good Guy.
welcome, Good Guy. But yeah, that was a great question, I must say. And how to approach that, So I think that'll help a lot of people as well. And I'll say at the end of the day, right? If you guys can't reach a good agreement, then you got to do what you got to do. If you have to go look elsewhere, then you have to go look elsewhere. Don't let the job hopping thing hold you down, because a lot of people, they do what's best for, like, you have to do what's best for them, because no one else is going to do what's best for you, because they're always going to be looking out for their self-interest. So, you always have to evaluate where you are and what is going to be the right move for you. All right. Awesome. Okay, we are at our last question of the night. Imagine that, right? Last question of the night. So let's do it.
Another one.
People being rude and condescending on LinkedIn. So about a week ago, I started using LinkedIn. I'm what most people call a loser. I'm 24, broke, I don't have a career, and zero, I repeat, zero job experience. My profile is pathetic and makes me look terrible. I only have 11 followers. One day, while trying to make connections, this guy messaged me and asked me a bunch of questions. He looks at my profile, my amount of followers, and basically becomes rude and condescending, as well as questioning how a loser like myself was able to connect with a high profile individual. This guy didn't hold back at all. I know I'm pathetic. I'm a pathetic mess, but having somebody rub it in how pathetic I am really hurts. So, goodness gracious, a couple of thoughts on this, right? Number one thought, right? If you believe that you are a loser, right, and that you're a pathetic mess, you might very well be. However, right? However, you do not have to be that way forever. right? You can change today, right? Like you just have to do something about it. You know, you said that you have zero job experience, you don't have a career, you're broke. Well, let's make a plan. 24 is still fairly young, right? So you can make a plan. Okay, how do we get unbroke, right? Let's look into like what type of career can we go into? Like there's tons of people transition every single day and zero job experience. Let's find a job, right? You So that's one aspect of it, right? That's one aspect of it, right? So the other aspect is that somebody sent you a message and they were rude and stuff like that. Well, that's what happens when you put yourself on the internet, right? People There's people who are bullies and you just got to deal with them accordingly. You can report them on LinkedIn, you can block them, you can ignore them, right? If you have a goal, right? And this goes back to the what I was talking to Drew about earlier, right? About focus. You see how easily you allow some random person who's being an a-hole to distract you from doing what you have to do, right? You should be on LinkedIn looking to make connections, looking to network, looking for jobs, right? To see, okay, what are my skills? What can I do so that I can gain more skills? Looking at job descriptions to see what positions that I would be qualified for and what skills do I need to put me in a better chance, right? Do I need any help? Do I need any coaching? What do I need? However, you stopped doing all of that. Hopefully you were doing that, right? But you stopped doing that so that you could go and be hurt by somebody saying what you believe about yourself, right? Pointing out what you believe about yourself, you got distracted. So like, so what? Someone who has no idea who you are. They have absolutely no idea who you are. They don't care about you, nothing like that, right? And they're telling you that, oh, you're pathetic, you're a loser, you don't deserve this and that. Okay, so what? Okay, what if you just say, I agree? What if you agree with them? Now what? Now, not only that you take the power away from them, right? But you know what you have to do anyways. Like, okay, cool, I agree. And if anyone has ever seen the movie 8 Mile, right, with Eminem, I remember like he roasted himself so that the person he was battling against had nothing to say about him, right? Like, okay, cool. Like, I know I suck, right? But I'm doing something about it. And you move on. Like this random person, because you like you said that like you signed up a week ago, and I trust me, I've never gotten a message from anybody on LinkedIn who was rude or condescending or anything like that. But you said like this one person, you let this one person throw you off whatever it is that you're working towards, right? And that's what I mean by the distractions, and that's what I mean by focus, right? This person can't do anything for you, right? We cannot let people get have so much power over our lives where they can totally throw us off, distract us. The quote from this week's Candid Conversation, but I don't think of you. This person apparently had a lot of time on their hands to tell you what they thought about you based on a LinkedIn profile that probably doesn't have that much information on it, right? And now they have you thinking about them. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Good guys, it's everybody from 313. Oh goodness. But yeah, so you just can't let these little distractions like throw like because now you're probably feeling some type of way because some jerk on LinkedIn said something to you. Get over it. Honestly, get over it and move forward. And you know what? It's you versus the world. It is you versus the world. And it is up to you to prove everyone wrong and say that I am so much better than you thought I was. And go out there and get it. That's my message. You have to just go out there and get it. You can't just let people throw you off your game, distract you and stuff like that. All right? All right. So that is my message to you. Hopefully that is helpful. Hopefully that is what you need. All right? All right. All right. So we are at the end of the night of our Q&A for Tuesday night, January 30th, 2024. I hope you had a great time. I hope you found this helpful and informative. I had a great time with you. Hopefully the video and the wasn't like all choppy and stuff, because it's been looking weird on my end, but we pushed through. We're gonna make lemonade out of lemons when that's what life hands us. We do not ever get down. We just keep pushing forward. All right. So that being said, I'm gonna get out of here. One last call before we get out. If you enjoyed the show, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you can know every single time that we go live. Like the video, share the video. Check us out on Tuesday. Jesus Christ. I haven't given one of these tonight. Check us out on Thursday night, where we're going to be going live. We're going to be working on the automation tools with Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright. We're going to be continuing automating the Free Mind Recovery website. We're going to try to troubleshoot Selenium a little bit, maybe, and go to the login flow. All right. And we're going to be live tomorrow morning, where we're going to be doing our Coffee and Kata morning show, reviewing some news stories, as well as continue with our Open AI API testing challenge. That is the plan. That's what we're going to do, right? So I look forward to seeing you in all these spots. That's why I say subscribe to the channel so you can know every time we drop new content, like 2 to 3 times a day, as well as go live and help you level up. I have what you need. So go ahead and do that, right? Like the video, share the video, leave me a comment. I promise I will respond to you. And lastly, go get some one-on-one coaching. Go get some exclusive content at www.techcoachralph.dev so we can help you fill in the missing pieces, the missing gap, all right? Before we go, we always like to ask,
are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
yeah, that is it for tonight, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I had a wonderful time talking with you. Thank you so much, Good Guy, Diego, Sean, Drew, D. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is always a pleasure. I repeat, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you. But on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph signing off.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Hear me, warriors of the North. Today we have tasted the sweet nectar of victory. Our foes indeed defeated, and their lands are now bowed before us. The gods themselves have favored our glorious deeds on this glorious day. We have shed blood, sweat, and tears to claim this land. Our relentless spirit, our unyielding determination, these are the very essence of our people. The spirit of our ancestors rejoice in the halls of Valhalla. For today, we have added to their eternal glory. Our victories will echo throughout the ages, and our names will be etched in the annals of history. But let us not forget the present pain the brothers and sisters we lost. They now feast in the hall of our forefathers, watching over us with pride. Their sacrifice has paved the way for this moment of triumph. As we celebrate this conquest, let us also remember that our journey is far from over. More land awaits our conquest, more battles haunt us forth, and the fire in our hearts burn ever brighter, for there is no limit to what we can achieve. To those who dare stand against us, let them tremble in fear, for they shall witness the fury of the northern storm, the wrath of the untamed barbarians. Today we celebrate our victory. Tomorrow, we set our sights on new horizons, a charted land where our banners will fly high. We are Vikings, we're barbarians, we are masters of conquest.